The woman, whose fair skin and beautiful red lips did not match her, and kept staring into the eyes of the little girl, repeating the same harsh words over and over again. The woman said to her daughter, "If you hadn't been there, or if your father had come back, this wouldn't have happened. Your father ran away with a boat and left me in debt from business, and if not, my life wouldn't have been like this. I am a noble woman, even though I look like this. If it weren't for you, I could have marriage again and wouldn't have had such a miserable life." She was angry and scolded her daughter in anger. The little girl was shocked by her mother's words. Her whole body trembled, and although she was sad inside, she smiled the best and most beautiful smile and painfully accepted that her mother was right, and little girl felt the same way. To the little girl, her mother was the most beautiful woman in the world. My mother had long, wavy hair that was as bright as gold and soft and warm as the sun. She also has bright and attractive eyes. She has a delicate figure, fair skin, and is truly a beautiful woman like an angel. Although they both live in poverty now, they were once of noble lineage. No matter what the circumstances, she loves her mother, and her mother is the pride of her life. The little girl knew that her mother was acting like this because she had gone through many hardships. She was still her beautiful mother's clever and lovely daughter, Lyrica. Lyrica had to work hard to support her family, even though she was too young. She couldn't play like other children, so she had to spend her days working. Sometimes, after work, she had to take her drunk mother home, and her mother would get angry and scold her every night and spend the money she earned on alcohol. However, Lyrica hoped that all this would end when her father returned. She would enjoy the fantasy of her father coming home with a lot of money and hugging her, and they would rebuild a warm family. Lyrica gathered her strength and worked hard. Lyrica will do her best to protect her mother and make her smile again. Her employer recognized her honesty and hard work and paid her to continue working. She was a smart girl who found her happiness even though she was tired. The little girl was hungry after working all day. On her way home, she was overcome by the sweet aroma of bread being sold at a roadside stall, and she thought to herself, "Would it be nice to have a bite of that soft, warm bread?" But the little girl, having considered the money in her hand, controlled her mind and bought something else. She returned home, and as her mother was sleeping, she quietly walked to her precious storage room and opened it to check the money. Lyrica looked at the money she had saved and set a goal of one day having a large farm and raising her own animals. So she hid it from her mother. While Lyrica was enjoying her thoughts, she heard a scream behind her and was scared. At that moment, the woman lying on the bed was terrified, her breathing was heavy, and she was sweating profusely. She saw ominous images and screamed for help to stop the burning. Seeing her mother's sudden fear, Lyrica ran to her mother. Her mother's reaction to her reaching out for her hand made her think that her mother had gone mad due to the effects of alcohol. So she was sad and ran to comfort her mother, but her mother's question and behavior made her think that she was angry again and urged her mother to calm down. The woman was actually wondering where this place was and how old her daughter was. In reality, her mother had traveled in time and returned to the past. Upon learning of her current life situation, the woman felt both sad and happy, and she ran to her daughter and hugged her. The beautiful woman was filled with intense emotions, crying and begging her daughter to forgive her for everything that had gone wrong and for going crazy, and she hugged her daughter and said, "You are my precious child." Lyrica was shocked to hear her mother say this to her and thought, "It is impossible." She tried to figure out what her mother was doing. Because it was real and not a dream, Lyrica was so happy that she cried and called her mother and acted like a child. Lyrica was a pure and lively 8-year-old girl. This time, she was a daughter who was being held in her mother's arms and was happy. Lyrica wondered what she would do if her mother changed again and went back to her old self. Soon, her mother asked her daughter what day it was, and she said that she was going to the dance to meet the emperor, and that it was her right. So she convinced her daughter again and asked her to give her money. Lyrica refused because the money she had saved was for rent. Lyrica thought her mother had changed, but she suspected that she was cheating on her because of her mother's request. Lyrica's mother gave up and gently reassured her that she would do her best to make her daughter happy in her own way. Then, Lyrica took the bread for her mother and urged her to eat it, but she ate it together because of her mother's words. That day was the first special day for Lyrica, when she slept peacefully in her mother's arms. Although her mother had changed and now Lyrica was happy. Truly, her mother played a trick on Lyrica. Lyrica's dream destination was far away because of her mother's attitude. The little girl was sad, and this was the first time she had been angry with her mother. When most people had finished work and were going home, the little girl did not want to go back to the house. The little girl walked past the people who were staring at her with disgust and spent the evening alone, lonely. She was sitting sadly by the side of the road. Soon, she noticed a young man dressed in a classy outfit that she could see from her eyes. What surprised her even more was that the boy knelt down respectfully and bowed to her. The little girl couldn't understand why he was speaking so respectfully to a lowly girl like her. From that day on, Lyrica's life changed like magic. The boy asked Lyrica to follow him and explained that he had been looking for you at home recently. However, Lyrica refused, saying that she was not following a stranger. At that time, the boy confessed the truth and explained that your mother had ordered him to come and that her mother was currently ill. The two of them lived in a poor neighborhood without any problems, but the man's words made Lyrica worried about her mother's condition. Her mother had been in trouble at the emperor's dance show, and she ran away crying, praying for her mother's safety. Lyrica was so worried about her mother that she couldn't understand the situation. After that, she entered the carriage house, but the man's warning made her think that she had been trafficked. So Lyrica got angry and scolded the young man and told him not to touch her. While the little girl was cursing all the way, she saw a bright and spacious garden that she had never seen in her life. Then her mother called her name, Lyrica, and saw her mother coming out of the big and tall gate beautifully and hugged her. Her mother apologized to Lyrica and said that she would explain everything to her and entered the palace.